All right, all right. Let's get it right here. Mm, all right, all right, all right. Sister Deborah. Right, let me get in here right. All right. Shalom, shalom, Sister Deborah, prophetess in the wilderness. And you know what? That's all right with me. Again, on this devil platform with another message. And I will say, this is a lovely day in which the most evening in which the most high Ahayah has made, and I, Sister Deborah, shall and I will rest therein. All righty. Sister Deborah is coming with a little something something this evening, and I am titled in this message, How Long? How long, Ahayah? How long? I think I got this spelled right. Oh, righty. Again, Sister Deborah, prophetess in the wilderness. And you know what? That's all right with me. Coming again on this Deborah platform with another message. And I will say this is a lovely, lovely evening in which the Most High Ahayah has made. And I, Sister Deborah, shall and I will rest therein. And I will say again, the title of this message is How Long, Ahayah? How long? That's something that I really don't, I really wouldn't want to know. It's just something I want to say. Okay. So it's really not something I want to know. It's just something I feel like saying. How long, Ahayah? How long? There's so much going on that's actually taking place. And what I'm seeing is righteous is not playing a role in what is taking place in the world today. It's like it's not seen, it's not identified, it's not talked about. It's just not something that's present today, even though it is, you see, because it was and it shall be and it's going to be. So even if Sister Deborah is not seeing it, it's because the darkness has overshadowed righteous. You see? So there's so many resting in darkness to where righteous, you can't see it. You can't see the presence of it because the mindsets seem to be all the way on the deep end somewhere, you know? And I think that's really sad. That's really sad because you wonder, you know, how long, Father? How long? You know, I was just taking a quick peek of a movie that was on Netflix earlier, and it was Jeffrey Donners, European, a Gentile uh, man that took the lives of 17 males, majority black men. Okay, and as I said in time past, there is so much going on where no one, even after the Father has charged Satan and his ace to keep the light on, there are people who refuse to see the light or accept the light. They rather say, I embrace darkness before I embrace the light. That means they rather have unrighteous instead of righteous, unjust instead of just. You see? So When Sister Deborah says, how long, Ahayah, how long? It's something I'm saying, but not feeling in me to really want to know. Because I believe it's in Him and Him only. I just say it because the feeling of seeing the things that's in the world and how everything is being act out of males, females, every nation. You can't even put any good mark on one nation over the next, because it seems as if each and every last one of them traded in knowing darkness over light, and they calling everything darkness, and they content with that. They are very much content. So I'm sure that it's not just Sister Deborah saying it, that how long, Ahayah, but it's others that knows, that are chosen, that are elect, that are walking in the light, and understand spirit and truth. They are too saying within themselves, how long, Ahayah? Not wanting to know really how long, but it's just the feeling of wanting to say it. How long, Father, y'all? How long? Like I say, it's much going on in the world today. Many things are taking place. And like I said, I was watching this movie, and I think I've been in it for about 15 minutes. And after once I heard the light on in it, I said, that's it. That's it. I don't need to see anymore. I believe everything you see today, I believe the Father has left a light on. He has charged the wicked ones that no matter what you do, leave the light on. And I truly can say, as a prophetess in the wilderness, I can say today, there is a light that is on. I mean, brighter than bright. But if people are not able to see the light, it could be because they are so heavily indulged in darkness to where light don't want to come near them to reveal anything unto them, because they are overwhelmed with darkness. They embrace darkness. They sleep with it. They wake up with it. They eat with it. They talk with it. They work with it. They sleep in the bed with it. They just love the whole idea of darkness. And I'm serious, you guys. I know you might say, when how could somebody? Yes, many. So I was saying about the movie. I think his last name Jeffrey Dowles, or whatever his name is, the young man, the young Gentile who had taken the lives of 17 young men. And they were also, some of them was caught up in that homosexual thing. And I think I was in it. It's probably wasn't even 15 minutes when his dad came to him to the prison. And I want y'all to hear me well. This is something very powerful. When his dad came to visit him in the prison, his dad wanted to know, I didn't raise you like that. I mean, why would you do something like that? So dad got opportunity to sit down and talk to him about what he did, and he couldn't say anything. But then he told him, you remember when you used to take me out to it's not even like hunting, but it wasn't hunting where they would kill animals or whatever, something of that nature. And his dad said, oh no, but I wasn't teaching you to do what you did. That's what the father was saying. But son, I didn't teach you to do what you were doing. What you did, I didn't teach you that. So the father was trying to convince the son that what you did is not what I taught you. It's not who I am. So I don't know where you getting it from. That son sitting here prepared to tell the father what started it all. But the father was putting it off. Okay. He totally was putting it off and in full denial of what Jeffrey was telling him. where it started. Now, the father kept asking him and kept asking him, where did it start? Where did you get this from? I didn't raise you up. And when Jeffrey went to tell him in very few words, when we used to go out, in a sense, like hunting, and we would cut up animals, something of that nature, but he was trying to get his dad then to understand this is where it started, and dad wasn't taking it. So as the movie went on, and dad now at home with his wife, his second wife, you know what he did? He was up for 5 days of no sleep. His second wife said, come on, you got to get some sleep. I'm going to call the doctor so they can give you some medicine so you can get some sleep. You've been up for 5 days. And he was up, the father, Jeffrey's father, was up for 5 days. And in that movie, he was, he did begin to tell his second wife, the one he's with now, the one he was with, I guess he divorced the first wife. It's all his mother's fault. Woo! Woo, 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 woo. It's all his mother's fault. She left him and left for the whole summer. It's all her fault. And then guess what the second wife said? But what did you do the whole summer? What did you do? His own wife. She asked him, when he blamed the mother, she asked him, what did he do? And I had to cut them. I had to get off the movie. I hadn't seen the light. I hadn't seen the light. Anybody? I know you probably didn't see it, but when I saw that light, I cut the movie off and I said, that's it. I don't need to see no more. Because I had heard about it years ago when it took place, and I was following it then, all the things that he did, was cutting up the bodies and eating them and stuff like that. But the key to it was the father broke down and told his wife, after she asked him, but you left him all summer too. And he said, I know I shouldn't have did that. Oh, I shouldn't have did it. But then he came up and he said, I got to tell you. He sat there and was trying to tell her. She didn't even want to hear it. But in the movie, he began to tell her where his son got it from. Hallelujah. We always run around here and try to make my father lie. We try to make everything he's tried to give us, even when it's the brightest of the brightest light, we still insist on trying to make him a lie so we can live in our darkness. So this man was telling his wife things he never told her before. Guess what he told her? I know where he got it from. It was me. I was young, thinking like he was thinking what it's like to murder somebody, what it's like to trick someone's mind. Everything his son had done, he admit to his wife that when he was a young boy, those were his thoughts. Let me tell y'all one thing. The father knows what he's doing. He knows what he said. One thing I'm going to tell y'all about him that I learned in my elderly years is he's about what he say, and he say what he's about, and he ain't come to change it for you, and he ain't changing it for me. This man broke down to his wife. She said, oh no, but you didn't do that. You didn't do the things he did. He said, yes, I did. I had all those thoughts he had, except for he did it. Now see, what the light on in that was, I had to cut it off from that end there. I already knew about the whole thing. I didn't need to sit and watch no movie. But I caught the light. The light was the father admitting that the son was a carbon copy of him. And when the Father in heaven's constantly telling the men about the son, your son, and constantly telling the men, I will visit the iniquity of the children of the Father. He's been, Father, don't cause your children to wrath. All these things about the Father been said. And yet, a stiff-necked rebellion and disobedient people still today, 2022, in full denial that any light been on for us. Sister Deborah is a living witness that the Father has kept the light on since the beginning of time. And when you start hearing things and seeing things, start pinpointing the light. It'll blow your mind. You know why it'll blow your mind? You'll say, wait a minute. Even though they did this, this here has always been here for us to see it. That's what you're going to start doing. You're going to start seeing things, the light in everything and everywhere you go and everything you do, everything you see, everything you talk about. You're going to start seeing the light. You're going to wonder, well, how did we get to here if this light been on all this time? Now, I'm going to tell you all, because of my life with 6 children, let me tell you, I can't afford a man to lie and tell me anything, because the true fact is these children are the lineage of the father or his father or his father or his father. Now, he can come from the mother's father's father's father, but it's coming from the ways of the men, not the ways of the mother. The mother might have some ways of her father that come down to the son or the daughter. But if they ever have any issue, go back to the fathers and you'll find where the issue extended. I remember my daughter met her husband. I was in Atlanta, Georgia, and him and I got the chance to sit down and talk. And I began to tell him who his daddy was. I began to tell him who his daddy was. I began to tell him who his daddy was. And you know what he did? He looked at me and he said, Miss Brown, I don't know how you know this, but my daddy told me those same stories. You see what I'm saying? See, you can make me a liar so you can live in darkness and be the truth all you want. But I can see why there's no mercy come judgment, because mercy and grace been given to us since the beginning of times and still yet poured out on us. The light is sitting there waiting for us to see it and take it for what it is from the heaven, and we still calling it a lie. We don't want no part of light. We don't want to know where the narrow gate go and where it starts so I can head that way. We don't want spirit and truth of the whole matter. I realize that people can talk all day long. They can precept, they can line, they can little here and a little there. They can tore me up and tore me down. But when it all said and done, they can't come up on spirit and truth that rests therein. Because spirit and truth is something they can't tackle. They can't debate it. They can't argue with it. They can't buckle up to it. You know why? Because spirit and truth is so powerful. Ahayah is a spirit and he is all truth. If he rests in me, have taught me that all things fall under his spirit and truth, because his word is him. No matter how many books of King James, New Version, New Edition, New Translation, New 1611, translated 1611, all kind of Torah, all kind of Enoch, all kind of, when you finish with all them books, it ain't gonna ride my Father and who he is. He is spirit and he is all truth. So anything anybody have to say, I don't have no problem with it. They bent all up. Because when they finish talking and hooping and hollering, it's still going to fall under spirit and truth. And when the spirit of the Most High live in you and he teaches you, he will separate everything you come up on in spirit and truth. And that's how you build up in him. Because he see, okay, I'm going to build this in you. Because what do you think he gave, Peter? The keys to what? Spirit and truth. Spirit and truth. Why? Because he found, Peter said, you are the son of Yah. Son of Yah. You know why? Because that's spirit, y'all, and it is truth. 99.1 trillion don't even understand what the son of Yah is and what the son of man is. They don't even know. You got to be able to know it through the spirit of who he is. And if he say, don't come to me with your flesh, I don't have no dealings with your flesh. You can't worship me in that flesh. I don't want no part in it. Then therefore, how dare we think that he has to take our flesh wisdom, our flesh understanding, our fleshly knowledge, our fleshly way of thinking, our fleshly emotions, our fleshly feelings, our fleshly ways, our fleshly look, our fleshly act, and he has to buckle down to us and drop his spirit and truth just to come to our level of flesh. No, that ain't gonna go. Never did he, never will he. And I'm gonna tell y'all something I was thinking about today. First, I want to finish that. Now, his daddy was telling his wife things he had never told her, and she was just so hurt. Her eyes bugged because he was telling her he wanted to kill people. He wanted to kill trick the little girl next door and control her mind. I think that's the one he wanted to kill first when he was a little boy. That's why his son got the sickness that he had, but the son portrayed it. Because Ahayah said, I will visit the iniquity of the father for a generation. So the father can sit and masturbate. The father can be on porno. The father begin lusting. He's going to come up with a homosexual son. He's going to come up with a homosexual daughter. He's going to come up with a pervert. He's going to end up with the same thing in his lineage coming down. And the women's running around talking about, these are my children. I raised them. You don't know what type of monster you have raised or brought up. You see? So even in that movie, I had to shut it down once I saw the light. Because after I saw the light, I saw the truth of the whole matter. Because that's what the biblical says. The father. And this father, all these years, here you are, 70, 80 years old, admitting to your wife. Your second wife, and verbally stating to someone out that what my son did was always my fantasy and my dream. People today, especially you women run around here with sons that has female tendencies. They don't understand. Oh, when he grow up, he gonna grow out of it. Oh, he ain't gonna be like that. They sing like females. They walk like females. They talk like females. They ain't going nowhere, baby. Because once it hit when they little, it's in there from birth. So people used to say, well, you can't be born. Yes, you can. Because if he said he's coming down the bloodline, how dare you tell Ahayah? Coming down the bloodline don't mean born with it. You see? The iniquity of the father for generations. He's going to visit that. So why did it escape the father? That's what you see today. When you look at this world and the way that it is, this is why. And that's one of the biggest things that lead me to understand why he say to me, Deborah, this need be. I'm not coming to change it. I'm not coming to wobble in it and play with them. I'm not coming to give them this and to let them do this, and I'm going to let you do this, give you this understanding, give you this knowledge, give you this wisdom. I'm not coming, Deborah, so don't look for me. And anytime the Most High said it to me, that's deep. That means you're gonna have to long suffer this thing. You're going to have to long suffer. You're going to have to endure because I put that spirit in you, so you're going to be all right. Just keep running. You in your right lane, keep running. You see, because as I said today, darkness don't care about light, none whatsoever. It wants to portray that it's the righteous one. The same way Satan wanted to portray in the kingdom and steal the throne of the Most High, Ahayah. That's what is actually being done here on the earth. It's not important, you guys, to put on your shoulder and heavy weight of the things of the world. We got our men today. I'm going to tell you what they're doing, y'all. And I'm going to say this here. What the men are doing, and these are the men that call themselves righteous. These are the men that say that they are chosen. These are the men that say that they're elect. These are the men that say I'm an apostle. These are the men that say I'm prophet. These are men that said I'm a Maureen, I'm seer, I'm watchman, I'm a minister, I'm a teacher, I'm an evangelist, I'm a bishop. These are the men. This is what they're doing today. They are denying the book itself. Sister Deborah have told you all, and this is as far as I would go with this idea of the King James Bible has been smeared. But I will never teach you to the capacity of everything in it is now error and not true. Don't let nobody, as long as you live, don't let nobody tell you that. Don't let nobody tell you that. Because you know what he said, it's going to come a time when the book, as you know it, shall cease. Now you get King James New Version, New Edition, New Translation, New Journey, New National Bible, new everything. They didn't took King James, and whether people want to say King James 16, it doesn't matter. Let me tell you why. Who in the live chat know that it doesn't matter? It doesn't matter if they take a King James 16 or a King James. Why is it that it doesn't matter? Anybody in the live chat, can you answer that? Why it doesn't matter? It doesn't matter because, let me explain to you. And this is what hurts me as an individual, as a female, as a mother, is that you can talk from here to 20 million years. If y'all don't send the people to be able to answer the simplest question, he gets behind your head. You better watch out in who you're dealing with. Because if you giving the potent and one person or no one can answer such a simple question, then all this I know spirit and truth is not in them. See, Ahayah is always showing me and giving me the spirit of discerning and trying the spirit by the spirit. When you try the spirit by the spirit, you don't even have to be in the presence of the spirit. Hallelujah. You can try it where you at. That's how powerful the gift is to try the spirit by the spirit. You see, you don't have to be in the presence of it. Now, the reason why it's not important if it's a King James 16 or a King James, let me tell you why. It is important to have a Bible, and I would suggest a King James or a King James 16. Just have a Bible. All this new translation, new edition, I wouldn't suggest that. But let me tell you how powerful what I'm about to say overrides it all. There was a reason when he said the lamb was slaughtered before the foundation of the world. Why? So that he can come in the day and time, okay, and redeem back to Ahayah those who got off the path, those who got off the tracks, okay? He's coming back to redeem them back to where they need to go, okay, in righteous, in the bosom of Yah. Okay, now this is the key. But the Father said, that lamb slaughtered, okay, he didn't come down as just the Son of Man. He came down with power, spirit, and my word, Deborah. So therefore, when he was buried and risen and ascended, that was so that he could be completed in his mission, and Ahayah could now bring spirit into man. So now I have y'all spirit in me. I can walk around and not have to quote a word to you and still speak spirit and truth. I don't have to beat you with verse here, here, and here. I don't have to need Enoch and Torah and this. You know why? Because the one that he said greater is greater in you than any book on the earth. But just like you go to college, first thing they do is what? Give you books. You go to elementary, first thing they do is what? Give you books. You go in a workplace, first thing they give you books. You go into training, first thing they're going to do, they're going to give you books. Ahayah is saying, I have allowed my words, some of my words to be in this book, but you won't know it. Hallelujah. Until the Ruach HaKodesh come in you and teach you all things. So what the men are doing, and women, what they're doing is they're taking the book and denying it to be anything true. Because when you start to take out this and take out this and take out this, take out this, and then start doing your history search to make this a lie, this a lie, and this a lie, then you messed up on the floor, baby. You ain't going to be able to return home. And that's what has happened to several of our men that has been known to teach from the Bible. They have gone away from it and now claim, there's two of them claim that none of it in there is true. Then you got many other brothers coming right behind, not knowing them, detaching themselves to the idea that this wrong, 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 this wrong. Sister Deborah is a prophetess from the wilderness. I'm taught from that level by Ahayah. I have the Ruach HaKodesh in me, but he did not call me and nobody else to say what is wrong and what is not, what it is and what it's not. There's no gift from heaven that came down to tell us, to teach people that this book is wrong. But I find that in many men in the Hebrew Israelite movement and some of the heathens who's now were into the Bible, now even them searching to make the Bible a lie. When you make the Bible a lie, then therefore those people that's over in Israel that has been said to steal your identity, how can you say they are a lie if the book that you're going by is a lie too? Then if the Bible is a lie, what must we go by? The Ruach HaKodesh. So why can't the Ruach HaKodesh live in us and teach us what is truth? They don't want that. They want to teach Yah, just like Satan wanted the throne. They want to tell Yah what is true and what is not. Not one position was called from heaven as a gift from heaven for Sister Deborah and nobody else, male nor female, to sit and say this book, King James or King James 16, this book, the Bible, is a lie. The Spirit of the Most High, Ahayah, would never come in you and tell you that. You know why? Anybody in the live chat know? Why wouldn't the Spirit of the Most High tell you the Bible is a lie? Because his word and who he is also placed in there. And he know anything that's crooked, he'll make it straight in you. But he don't need us taking this book, because then who is to tell us? Who is it out there have the power to say what is true and what is not? This is not true. Don't believe this here. Don't believe this. Don't believe this. Don't believe this. When they finish, the whole book gonna be a book that nobody should read. That's how cunning Satan is. That's how powerful in his mindset that he has to cross out Yah and let him see him crossing him out. See, I got them saying this ain't true, this ain't true, this ain't true. But who called you? Who from the heavens called you and told you what is true and what isn't? Your flesh don't have the ability. Your flesh don't have the ability to dissect a book that has existed all these thousands of years. Now here you come along, didn't even know who you were, but now you can dissect the book. Does that make any sense? In the last 10 years, many people then came to the knowledge who they are. Wait a minute, hold up. Now that you've come to the knowledge who you are, how can you make the book a lie when that's the book that told you who you are? You see, it doesn't make any sense. You see what I'm saying? So we really need to be careful in how we trying to do away with the book itself. See, the problem is not the book, y'all. It's not. The problem is not the King James Version nor the 1611. That ain't the problem. The problem is you. Because you won't sit your tail down long enough, shut your ugly mouth, and listen and be a student of the Ruach HaKodesh. They don't want to do that. They want something so that they can appear to be something to one another. They want to be boasted and boosted and uplifted and pride-minded. Oh, I learned this and I know more than this. I found this out. I studied this. I searched this. No, you didn't, baby, because ain't nothing been lost. Nothing been lost. And sometimes I hear them teaching and I be like saying, but Father, that's something you were showing me when I was a teenager. I never took to it. It never was something to really weigh on, because it wasn't something to be saying this is spirit and truth. It was just something to know what kind of sick world this was and the people they're in and the things that they're doing. A lot of things people are talking about, especially these Hebrew Israelite people. Let me tell you something, baby. I've been there, done that. You see? So therefore, I'm like saying, okay, they got it, but they don't have it, because that ain't the importance of what they're talking about. But they don't understand that. They think because they're out here searching and finding history, who gives a rat's behind if you find all the history in the world, and lose your spirit to the lake of fire? Do you think that the history of who Abraham was and who, not Abraham, who the president Lincoln, or who the Roman Catholic, do you think it's important for us to know all the wicked and evil they have done? Guess what? When the Ruach come in you, guess what? He gonna tell you who they are, and you gonna believe it. Just that belief that he put in you to tell you who they are is good enough. It's good enough. You don't have to search your history. You don't have to search books. You don't have when the Ruach teach you, he teach you and he planted in you for you to never forget. Therefore, anything people are talking about, guess what? They talking about something they learned in the beginning. Sister Deborah said, so long. I've been there. I already heard that. You see? Why? Because he planted it in you, so it won't go nowhere. So no matter how the Catholics and the Romans did this, and they did this, and they did this back in 1314, they did this back in 1619, and they did. What will it benefit you today to know that yesterday? It is what Solomon is saying to me right now. Tell him, Deborah, vain and vax. It's worthless. It's a form of taking you off the racetrack. If Sister Deborah is running the race, and I can feel I'm almost at the end of the finish line, and I can feel, content and protected in this lane, and all this chaos in the world on the left side and the right side, what are they going to do? Slow me my race. Keep me from going to the finish line. And that's what our men are doing. They keeping people from spirit and truth. They don't want to give you spirit and truth because they have no spirit and truth for you. They have darkness. That's why they want to tackle the issues of the old. Now, catch this. How are you going to tackle the issue of where the slaves were buried? And he was there. How many heads got cut off? Okay, while I'm learning all of that and Ahayah come, then what am I going to be doing when Ahayah come? Running behind you and chasing your history. Y'all better watch yourself. Don't get caught up in that, because the men that's doing all this teaching now, that's what they're doing. Because they didn't wore themselves out. They didn't wore themselves out because they've been teaching from the dark end for a long time. They've been teaching as a son, as a man. Okay, they've been teaching things that they think cause them to be uplifted, because this is really what they think. They're thinking, if I find out about this, then the other men are gonna see that I know something, or I know more than they know, I got more than they got. You see how sick that is? That's the truth. That's the truth of the whole matter of that child. They ain't doing nothing for the light. They ain't doing nothing to show the people to the narrow gate. They ain't doing nothing in spirit and truth. They're battling with each other, trying to prove to one another, pride-minded, self-centered, self-motivated, boasting, and this is what they want. They want the other men on this side, on that side, and that side to look at them and say, guess what? He found out our history here. He found out this and he found out that. Or he knows something because he found out. And everything the individual has found out, guess what it was for, y'all? Darkness. Because it benefits you not in the light. And that's sad. And that's where we are at. And it's sad. So how long, Ahayah? I asked that question without wanting to know. You see? Because that's just how you feel. Because the long is like, hey, all this mess that's going on, the way these people are still spilling out darkness to their own people. I ain't never seen a race as the tribe of Judah to how would I say it, tear down their own race with lies and deceit for messages, stuff that doesn't carry any weight. Solomon said, tell him again, Deborah, it's all vain and vast. What is it a man to gain the whole world and lose his spirit to the lake of fire? 99.9, how you way over there and you don't even know the end game to Deuteronomy, and he's talking to you. If he's talking to you as a nation, the end game to your nation is this. And you way over there somewhere talking about the Roman Pope, they had a part in the slavery. Guess what? If you get with Ahayah, he would have told you that long time ago. He wouldn't wait till 2022 when it's midnight outside to tell you that. He would have told you that a long time ago. What are you talking about? See, that's how, because they're trying to battle with each other under the table. This is what the men are doing. They battling with one another under the table to see who got some missing information, some lost information. Now, guess what? You know all the books that they had at one time? They don't have those anymore. They have them, but you don't hear them expounding or clamming on them anymore. They got new ones out, y'all. Said this was lost, this was lost, this is missing, this is missing. Guess what? It's in this. You see how lost they are? Because they chasing a book. They chasing books. They chasing history. And what happens with history? It dies. It dies with the people. Everything history, it dies, y'all. It don't live eternal. It goes down in the grave. History goes to the grave. So why dig up the history that does not inherit eternal life? Why not dig up spirit and truth? Why not seek the one who knows all things and teaches us spirit and truth? Why not dig up some light in this darkness? Why not dig up the direction to the narrow gate? Why not dig up that? You want to learn some history? No, they don't want that. They don't want no part in that. They want all the darkness so that they can go up against the other brothers and say, I learned this, I'm so smart because I found this history and I found this history. Baby, history dies just like flesh. History died. You see me here? Guess what? My whole history of who I am, where do we go? Somebody tell me. In the grave. It goes to the grave. To the grave with me. Now, what I did, good and bad, it's going to go and be judged in the flesh, what I did in the body. You see? But my history go down with me. How do you think? Like this here. Let's look at Michael Jackson. Look at what all he was to the whole world. The elites built him up and they took him out. The same one that builds him up takes him out. Yes, ma'am. Every time. Where's his history? What will his history mount up to? He was here and he was gone. You don't hear nobody talking about him. You hear nobody talking about two pops. You don't hear nobody talking about none of them. Why? The history is dead. It's in the grave with him. So what makes us, our men, get up and decide to go chase the history and too ignorant to understand the history you trying to chase, baby? It's a history of darkness. And it's taking your focus off the direction to the light this way. Because you're going back that way and the light is this way. And that's what they're doing. And they have no problem taking you all right along with them back this way. Because that's all they and you know what? I believe it came to me in the car, a strong delusion. It could be that too, because Father said he was a strong delusion that they will not see or they're not going to know anything. He would do that because he know they ain't going to know nothing no way. And they gone so bullheaded, big boasting and pride minded. They just out there. He said he'll give them a strong delusion so that they want what? Shall not see, shall not hear. So they won't come to the light. So that bothered me too when I said in this message, how long? So if I'm dealing with how long, me myself is saying, how long, Father? You see? Same situation. Because they just so far out deep, they ain't coming to dry land like I used to say all the time. They're nowhere near the dry land. Nowhere near the dry land. And they're far out. Far, far out. And they can't even see the dry land because they take in their history, their wisdom, their knowledge, their understanding, their feelings, their everything. But you know what else I noticed too? The world, the whole world hasn't even recognized the reason it is where it's at is because of men. They haven't even recognized that. And I noticed that. I said, they haven't even recognized that the Father in the way he created it would be the children would be alike unto the Father. And that's why, I'm going to show you why I said that. Look at us. We're the children of the forefathers. Father called us out and told us we are the children of the forefathers, stiff-necked, rebellion, disobedience. See how much he's still saying we're like them? And we're running around here thinking, we ain't like that. We ain't. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. You what he say you are, not what you say you ain't and what you think you are. So that goes back to what I'm saying. Same scenario. Same thing. That same thing. He never, ever expound on any woman like unto your mother. I sat back and I read it so many times in the biblical, him telling the son, don't do this. If you do this, you're going to hurt the mother. If you do this, you're going to wound the mother. If you do this, you're going to do the mother. Why? Because the father gives a right behind. The only one hurt when the children are hurt is the mother. Go read it. And he constantly saying, if the father don't do this, the son's going to do this to the mother. If the father don't do this, the children going to do this toward the mother. He constantly saying it over and over and over. And the women today still don't get it. They still don't get it. Because even that alone letting you know, those are not your babies. Those are the seeds of the men. You nurse, take care of them, provide for them, see to it that they do and follow the rules and regulations, you see, and bring them up with give and gave all their lives. But to see the whole overall and the way Ahayah orchestrated it, we missed it. We missed it. And it's so much alike. So when I saw this movie, if, say for instance, on Netflix, say if it's 1 million people saw that movie, out of the million, I probably the only ones can see the light on there. Only one that can see the light on. Because people don't take to the things that you see in Ahayah had seen before the foundation of the world. You see? This is not new to him. He's not in the heavens, not low and saying, oh, no, you didn't do that. You didn't know you didn't go there. No, you didn't. No, baby, let me tell you something. That message that I taught twice, what took place before the foundation of the world, if that didn't wake and shake people up to spirit and truth and let them step into a different realm with Yah, you ain't going nowhere. You ain't going nowhere because it teaches you and turning the power back over to the Father. It's giving him all the power back to him because what? Sister Deborah know who holds it. I wasn't sitting here telling y'all this because man holds this or Sister Deborah's over this and Sister Deborah got this gift or Sister Deborah. No. I was taking you to the one who holds all the power, who orchestrated this thing from the beginning. And if you missed it, you missed it because you never had it. And a lot of people think you be on this platform and hey, I'm learning. You don't learn until you get it. Because Ahayah said, I ordered your steps. I don't just put you one step to the next, to the next, to the next. I ordered it. And if I send someone down to show you or to teach you something and you're not moving up the steps and you're just sitting on that one step, that's just you. Someone said something to me the other day about pretty much everybody know where they at and where they going. You know, I was like, you think so? Yeah, that's what they said. You know, everybody know because they know where they at. they're not where they think they're at, but they know where they're at, and that's nowhere. Okay? Because it's so much hypocrite and portrayal, and pretending and acting. But people, I wouldn't give a rat's behind about what somebody think, feel, and want to say if I know before the foundation of the world, it was already orchestrated from that end. Who cares about what today has to bring if it was already orchestrated? And he said he has ordered your steps. If he's given you in this last midnight hour the keys to, not so much as the keys, but someone to tell you what took place before the foundation of the world, because it takes you to a level where it takes all your worries from you. It really do. When it is, it rests on you as spirit and truth. It takes all your worry from you. It does. Because when you know that, you mean I don't have to bend over backwards here and bend over this way, and I don't have to do this and do that the way they said, and I don't have to be like this and be like this. I don't have to walk like this and talk like this. I don't have to wear this on my head and wear this on. No, you don't. Because heaven knew who you were before you came down. You see? No one wants to give him that. That's too much glory. Nobody want to give the Father that type of glory. We don't want him to nowhere near be given back that glory in which he has anyway. Oh no, we don't want to do that. We don't want to turn that power back where it belongs, in that right hand. No, we don't want to do that. We don't want to deal with that stretched out arm. We don't want to deal with none of that. But the fire that is kindled at this time in the midnight hour, during the judgment in the midst, that's gonna tell who's who and what's what. I heard this one lady talking about he's in the process of separating the wheat and the tare. He don't have to separate anything. He already called heavens and told them, go down there and mark mine. Make sure you mark each and every last one of mine. So you know what he got? He don't need to separate, even though he's doing that with the fire. The fire itself is going to tell you who's who. Because for a lot of people, when that fire comes, you're going to be tried by it. When the sickness hits your body, oh yeah. When the system take what you have, when you run out of food and you run out of money, you run out of jobs, oh baby, that fire going to be lit. See how you run then. See how you walk for Ahayah then. See how you speak spirit and truth. There's going to be so much negative to people ain't going to know nothing but to be resting in darkness, because they didn't prepare for the light in which Yah's son, he is already down to get you prepared, to prepare yourself from the inner man, and let that inner man prepare you on the outer man, because greater is he that's in the inner that can take care of the inner. He'll mold you and shape you and prepare you so that your outer man will be prepared for what is yet to come from out of his right hand. You see, but I don't know. It's just to me, because I say how long, not wanting to know how long, but just the ideal of being human here on the earth, and see that you don't see people really building up their treasures in the heaven. You don't see people really seeking the face of Yah. And I'm not talking about natural seed. I'm talking about spiritual. Talking and communicating and speaking and teaching and revealing. And, it's even to the point where when people talk about dreams and vision, I'd be like, baby, where do you get that one from? Why? He said, watch out in who you deal with, because you don't know who you really entertaining. And people really don't. They could care less. That's just how darkness has overshadowed the light here on the earth among the people. Because a lot of dreams and vision is just you and you only. Okay? But it has found its way on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Patreon. Oh, it's working a number. It's no way that the Father gonna give me a dream of Beyonce. For what? It's no way. If he has to give me a dream of regarding Beyonce, Honestly, it would be that she's going down. That's pretty much it. But what is it to gain for him to give his prophet the warning to Beyonce? And Beyonce there, I'm here. Beyonce in the dark, I'm in the light. But he gonna give me a message to give Beyonce. That's why one thing I do say about on this devil platform, I thank the Father in the heaven for his right hand power, because I don't care where the devil is at. Ahayah always has hands in the midst. See, that's what a lot of people don't grip. And I want to say another thing. I want to say this here too before I get off of here. Sister Deborah is also experiencing people giving Satan more power than he had. The reason why I know people didn't grip what took place before the foundation of the world, if they had a grip that they would know, Satan is at a standstill 24/24. Because if heaven's orchestrated even his way, wait a minute, hold up. What are we talking about? See, we don't understand. We as people, let me stop saying we, because I am a part of he, Ahayah. People have given and still giving Satan so much time, energy, word, teaching, revealing him. They are giving him so much. Guess what, y'all? I'm just like I said, how long, Father? Because Satan getting all the news, baby. He getting everything. He getting it. People are doing more worshiping him and bowing down to him and giving him glory and giving him honor in every way possible. And they can't, you sit there and you try to tell them, they wouldn't even believe it. But yes, you are. Because you don't see no spirit of truth being taught. You don't see nobody saying, hey, y'all, let's get up and let's get it right. Time to get to the narrow gate. Time to go to the light. No, you ain't going to see it. You ain't going to hear it. But everybody want to take you into something that does not have anything to do with your eternal destiny. They trying to take you off, get you off balance, get you in an area you ain't got no business being. But let me tell y'all something. Everything you see going on in this world, not 1 second, inch of a second, it's not still yet orchestrated by my Father, the one I fear, the one holds all power. Nobody is ruling his will. What part of that people don't understand? Because they refuse and they reject what took place before the foundation of the world. I know it. I already knew that because he told me that. Both times I told her, he said, Deborah, it's like going in and going out. I said, yeah, Father, but at least I got it out there. I got it out there, Father. And that's all that's important. I put it out there. You know, if the fish took the worm, they took it. If they didn't, whatever, they don't even understand the power of missing that worm when he was thrown out to her. You see, hooking that worm when he was thrown out to her. So when I think of wicked and evil and the darkness and all this stuff that's going on, Satan is got it going on. But guess what? I still know who's the end and the beginning of all things, and that he don't have nothing going on that the Father, he haven't checked with the Father to see if he can do. Not to see, he's doing only what the Father told him to do. Only what the Father is allowing him to do. So all this here stuff, when you start giving Yah the praise and the glory, and then this also, what does this do? What does this do to know that he's what bothers me is this: he's following the Father's will, and we think we run the wheel. We think we run it. Satan even following his will. And what does that do to fully understand that the Father got all this here in his hand? And no matter how dark and evil it is, you want me to tell you what that is? And the reason why people can't embrace it like that, and Sister Deborah can, you know why? Because the spirit of fear, it's a gift from Yah. I fear Yah and not the one, that he, the Satan. I fear the one that can destroy Satan. So he placed the gift so I could fear him at the level of what seeing Satan to be nothing and nobody. Now, am I humanly, I don't even think that's a word. Do I fear? Yes, I do. But I'm speaking of my spirit. I give everything that I have in my inner man to the credit to the utmost high. Ahayah, Ahayah. I'm not giving Satan nothing as if he all that and some. And that's what you're seeing on these platforms. Even in their teaching, whenever they can turn around and how would I say it? Destroy the Bible and say it's not true. When you take any of it out, you have destroyed it all. Because you're putting in the ears and in the minds of people the only thing that they have that Ahayah will teach them from, so that they can see what has already been orchestrated by him. So when he come into them and he began to teach them, anything in that book is not true, Ahayah will make it straight. If it's crooked, he'll make it straight. He didn't send Sister Deborah to make that book straight. No. That's why he said study only to show yourself. You know, because when the Ruach come, anything crooked in it, he gonna make it straight. But that shows you the power of the Ruach. They really want to have nothing to do with it. They want to make it crooked and straight themselves. They want to say crooked and wrong and this is wrong. And all I say to you all is smeared. And anything smeared, even if you had salt on the table and it's smeared all over the table, all you need to do is what? Get a towel, a wet towel, and wipe it up. When Ahayah is the one, if anything in there smeared, only one can unsmear it is Ahayah. But don't your mouth turn around and tell everybody this book is crooked. They wrote this, the Romans so and so this, and the King James was a Roman and a king. I wouldn't do that if I was anybody. But this is the level of darkness he said we're in, where the people have chosen to do wicked and evil. 24. What did he say? Like the days of Noah. What was the days of Noah? Every imagination was wicked and evil. See, Sister Deborah ain't lying. Sister Deborah is not lying. So when that imagination is wicked and evil, every imagination, if you think we're not there, you is along with the people that's gone in that wicked and evil. Because he said it, I believe it, and I have no doubt. Now, say for instance, Sister Deborah say, Exodus in the Bible. No, let's say Numbers is not true. Somebody else wrote that. And Moses didn't write it. Okay. That's the same book you spoke out of. That's the same chapter you spoke in and you spoke out of. Now it's not true. How do you go back to people and make that book a lie? You can't do that. You can't do it. Furthermore, you let the Ruach HaKodesh take them into the book, and anything crooked, he's going to make it straight. Why? Because he said, I'm going to teach you all things. He said, put your trust in no man to teach you this thing, Deborah. I've been saying that since I was in high school. I used to tell people that all the time. He told me don't trust in no man. He ain't talking about I can't trust a man with my $1 million. He said I can't trust a man with my car. He said when it come down to that word that proceed out of his mouth, the Ruach HaKodesh, don't trust man. When it come down to his word, don't trust him. Don't trust him to